In today's video, we're checking out the Pearson Hyper S Gen 3. This is made in New Zealand and it's arguably the most unique guitar I've ever showcased on the channel. We'll talk more about the design, what you need to know about it in just a moment. But you're about to hear this in the context of a jam track. I'll run you through everything you need to know and then we'll get over to some isolated tones. Here we go. Let me give you a quick rundown of what makes this guitar special. So this is only 3 kilograms, which is just over 6 pounds. It's very comfortable to play seated or whether or not you're standing up. So that's really cool. Now we get stainless steel frets and 24 of them as well. So you can get all the way up to the 24th fret. It might not be quite as easy to get to the 24th fret as other guitars I've got in my cupboard over here, but it still allows you to get pretty high access all the way up. The fingerboard material is dark rosewood and we get a beautiful roasted maple neck. Now, Pearson call this a modern C, but it's definitely not as thin as some of the Fender necks I've played over the last few years. So it has a little bit more chunk than that, but it's definitely not a fat neck, but again, very comfortable to play. Being that this is a roasted maple neck, it's nice and slinky under the hand and you won't be sticking to it like you might on other guitars. One of the things I can appreciate with this guitar is we get Geiger locking tuners, and yes, of course, the tuners are under the back of the guitar here. Now, if these weren't locking tuners, I think tuning this up would be a lot more complicated than it is, but it's actually quite easy, and I got it done on the first time in under 10 minutes. I think if I did it again now, I would get it done a lot quicker, but I was able to not only assemble this guitar straight out of the box without any problems, I was able to get the strings on, and I was ready to go. So yeah, if you want to put the strings on, they go through the headstock at the top end and you tune them up here. This will take you a while to get used to and I'll talk more about that at the end of the video. This body design is unlike anything I've ever seen. So the front and rear acrylic panels are 6mm thick, which is pretty wild. And we get a nice sheet of aluminium on the back as well, which makes it fairly comfortable to play. If you've got your arm hanging over it like this, it kind of does feel like it's sort of digging in a little bit, but it's nice and smooth. You're not going to cut yourself on anything, which is a great thing. So it's very comfortable whether you're playing seated or whether you're standing. The body core itself is aluminium here, and the neck just attached really simply thanks to these 4 screws. And I was able to set this up in minutes. So no problems there whatsoever. The setup was great. I haven't done anything to adjust it whatsoever. I love the fact we get a little bit of a color splash on this side, and as the light hits it on different angles, you're going to see it change. I actually really like that. It's a really great touch. It's kind of mirrored. The tailpiece on here is great. It's nice and easy to adjust the intonation if you need to do that as well. But again, this was set up beautifully straight out of the box. We get a pair of Alnico 2 humbuckers here. This neck one is rated at 7K ohm output, and this bridge is rated at 8.1. Now, if you want to get into humbucker mode or just use humbucker mode, this toggle switch has to be in the down position and you can go back to that sort of single coil mode with the toggle switch up. This is our volume control, this is our tone control, and this is a 3-way toggle switch. So you get the regular positions here of neck, both, and bridge on its own. Now, if you like to play in a standing position, you can, of course, do that. We get 2 strap locks already built into this, which is fantastic, and they're both in these top locations over here. And there's also a whole bunch of different guitars on the Pearson Guitar website, so I encourage you to go check them out. Again, if you're interested in this, there'll be a coupon code down in the description box below. This is a really cool looking guitar, and it's great to see something so different. You see a lot of the same type of stuff getting made time and time again. This is something very unique, so well done to Pearson Guitars. All right, let's kick it off with some clean tones. Now we're going to start in humbucker mode. So this toggle switch is in the down position. It's got such a beautiful sound. If you like to play without the pick, have a listen to this. Beautiful. Over to both pickups. That's a really nice sound as well. And over to bridge, which has quite the snap on the top end. Have a listen. Just going to wind the tone control in a hair. Have a listen to the difference. It's a beautiful clean tone in humbucker mode. Let us know what you think of these tones. Let's try some split or single coil tones now with the toggle switch in the up position, and then I'll show you how they compare. So this is neck pickup. It's actually very usable. Now, your instinct is every time you go to a split or single coil mode on a humbucker, it kind of drops the volume, but they don't drop too much on this, and they actually feel really good to play. Let's try some dirty tones in humbucker mode. So I'll just be using the 3 positions with the toggle switch down, and then we'll go over to the split mode as well. So here we go. This is bridge with the volume and tone all the way up. That is cool, man. And now with the volume control down. It's super dynamic, a little bit more volume. I mean, there you go. You can just work your volume control and get your clean tone, turn up, and you've got your lead sound. Over to neck pickup. Again, we'll start with the volume down. It's still got the tops there, so there's definitely a high pass filter in this by the sounds of it. It sounds really cool with the volume down all the way up. Both pickups. That's great. That bridge pickup absolutely cuts beautifully. All right, now we're over to the single coil mode. I'm going to start on neck pickup. I've just backed the gain off a hair on the amp as well. Let's have a listen to this. Over to both pickups. Yeah, that's super cool. And again, it's super dynamic. So if you want a cleaner sound, you can just simply turn the volume control down. That's very dynamic. And if you like to work your volume control, it will work in both modes. And lastly, let's go for a big lead tone using the humbucker in the bridge position. And I'll also switch it over to neck for this as well. But this is the Ultragain channel of the Marshall with a little bit of delay. We'll start with some chords. Here we go. That's right, there's 24 frets on this. It's wild. All right, let's wrap this video up. I'm going to talk about what you need to know about this Pearson electric guitar. And if you haven't guessed it already, this is definitely going in the best of 2024 as the most unique electric guitar, but it also plays and sounds great. So we'll start with tone because these humbuckers are awesome. I would have no hesitations using this in terms of how this guitar sounds and responds. The volume control is great. You turn down, you still got your top end there, but it cleans up beautiful. So it's very dynamic in that sense. Tune stability has been fine as well, but when I have had to tune the guitar, I've had to hold my pick in a weird position because usually I would be tuning with my right hand. So it's taken me a while to get used to switching the pick over to this hand or holding it in a weird way and then tuning the guitar. So that will take you a while to get used to. And as of shooting this video a few days after getting this, I'm still not used to it. But you know what? It's very small and compact, and you can easily fit this in a small carry-on bag once you sort of, pull the neck off it again. Now, putting this together was super simple. I had no problems with that whatsoever. And I love the fact there's no 0 fret on this guitar like you might find with a true Headstockless guitar. Now, while this doesn't have a headstock, I don't feel like I'm wondering where I am because it's got that slight arch here at the back of where the headstock would be. It feels like an electric guitar, although it looks completely different. I'm still not used to seeing this on camera, but I gotta tell you, I actually can really appreciate the aesthetics of this. It's just a completely different guitar to what I would showcase. And I've really enjoyed my time shooting this video with it because it sounds great and it feels good. Once you get used to the fact that the tuners are over here, having 24 frets is great. And while the access might not be as easy as other guitars because of the position of the join on the back here, it really does feel like a conventional electric guitar once you get around that. Now, there's a few things you need to know if you're a lefty like me. So I had to put my own dots on the top of the fretboard here because I didn't realize how much I missed them. Now, this is a right-handed neck on a lefty guitar. Obviously, the nut's been switched over and all that kind of stuff, but as you can see, there's dots on the underside, which doesn't help a lefty. So if you're going to order one of these and you're a left-handed player, just make sure you're getting the dots on the correct side if that's of concern to you, so you can double check with Dom. But this is a really beautiful guitar, and I love the fact it's something different. I haven't played a guitar like this ever as a lefty, and while I've played many guitars over the years in Australia and over at Jerry's Lefty Guitars, I'm not sure I've played anything quite like this. It really is quite beautiful and yeah, completely different. But again, it probably won't be for everybody. You have to make your mind up whether or not you like it enough to want to buy one, and if you do, I'll leave a coupon and discount code down in the description. Those support the channel at no cost to you. While this video is not sponsored, if you do buy one, I'll get a few bucks, so you can support the channel that way if you're into it. But this is a really beautiful guitar, and I think maybe the only thing that will definitely take some time to get used to if you're not familiar with guitars like this is just tuning them up. But locking tuners saved the day, and I'm so thankful they're locking tuners. Otherwise, you know, it could be a much more complicated tuning process. Once you got the strings on, you're good to go. The setup process, if I can do it, anyone can do it. I'm no wizard when it comes to putting things together, but it was all very simple and yeah, very straightforward. So Pearson Guitars from New Zealand. Let us know what you think, and thanks again to Dom for sending this out. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya.